Timestamp March 8th, 2026, but barely. It's like 11:30 p.m. Um, everybody's fine. I think it's a late entry for me. My day has been weird. Again, everybody's fine. I haven't gotten any phone calls or anything like that. Um, so it's Sunday. Try and step over you, Scrap. And I tried to go to bed. I mean, I succeeded in going to bed, but I couldn't fall asleep. Could not fall asleep. And I just stayed up playing video games for hours and hours, trying to, wear myself down, as it were. Finally managed to do that. Yeah. Look, money on a roller coaster. We'll do that. Managed to get myself, I guess, to go to sleep. Probably around 9 or 10 a.m. And I woke up around 9 or 10 p.m. Thanks, bud. I slept for like 12 hours. I don't know. Weird. From a health check standpoint, got the anxiety stuff, the tightness and all that, but otherwise I feel fine. Some of you won't understand this initially. Some of you will if you're a devout and sad dork like myself. So I normally do I let you know what was on, as it were. I went to bed during Turnabout Intruder and woke up during the Menagerie. Now, if you are in the same dork camp as myself, you're going to say, those are Star Trek titles, that's not Doctor Who. And you're right, at some point my row stopped cooing. Weird. I went in to go to bed and I couldn't get the Roku. The row would not coo. I don't know. It's all very strange. Situation here is the TV in the living room. It's my parents' stuff. They didn't know what they were doing. I haven't had the wherewithal to break into the programming. They had somebody come in, I think it was Chuck the Wonder Idiot, come in and set it up so that they could do stuff. And I still got tons of complaints about what the TV couldn't do. And I'm like, guys, you don't want me there. Every time I'm there, I steal things, remember? So what do you want me to do about it? This is like in 2023. My mom's like, well, it's not working right. And Chuck did stuff to it to try and get it working right. This is a newer TV. We bought it used from somebody. And I'm like, okay, so you're doing the programming from somebody else plus whatever Chuck did to it. And she's like, well, yeah, we can't get any of our regular stations. Meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, ooh, does that mean you can't get Fox? That's a win. These people are poisoning your brain. I think I even mentioned something like that at that point. She's like, it's a news station. It's like, no, it's not. So we'll stick with mainstream stuff for you, because I know you can't look up, you don't know how to look up the other stuff. Just start watching MSNBC. Just make that your go-to for now. It's a start. Thank you, Jinx. Out of my stool. I'm not going to try and get you into independent stuff because you're not going to have a clue. So, it's still programmed goofy stupid, and I haven't had the wherewithal to even monkey with it at this point. I will eventually, but this second I don't care, because it does what it needs to do. Because I know how to do the other live TV functions, so I went over to Pluto and plugged in the classic Star Trek channel. It's like, you know what? Because I was doing that when I first got here too. Actually, I was doing that almost exclusively. I was doing the Star Trek channels before I realized there was a classic Doctor Who one. And I don't like Doctor Who more than Star Trek. It's just a bigger catalog. So it's not as repetitive, you know. Because with the Star Trek shows, it's kind of, you're picking a show. So if you're watching the Next Generation channel, you're watching the 7 seasons, 8 seasons that are Star Trek The Next Generation, which is great stuff, man. Great stuff. But, I mean, the Roku Doctor Who's running into this too, though, with, you know, playing Seeds of Doom every day. But for the most part, there's a little less repetition overall. Except when whoever that one guy is that gets into the control room and just plays the Key to Time series all day long. I don't know what's going on there. Revos Operation, Stones of Blood, just like back to back. Throw in Pirate Planet every now and then. I'm thinking he's obsessed with Mary Tam? Maybe that's it? I don't know. It could be a she. I don't know. So I got very little done today because I went into a self-induced coma of some sort. I don't know what that was about. Maybe I'm having a nervous breakdown and that was just exhaustion. I don't know. Yeah, I feel good. I took a shower. Yeah, even this guy. Got laundry in the washer. I haven't pushed start yet, but I just did that, so. Got dishes to come out, dishes to go in. I got a little bit of food prep to do. Before I started attempting to go to sleep and then couldn't. That's weird for me. That's real weird for me. I can normally program myself down to just, you know, you're going to sleep within the next 30 minutes and I'm down in 10. It's a like meditative thing. I can usually get myself to a sleep state pretty quickly. Nope. Really weird. Not necessarily from a health standpoint, like, oh, what's wrong with me, but kind of a just, that's really weird for me. I don't know. Got a bunch of packages Saturday. It's one thing I did before I went to bed the first, second, third, fourth, eighth time, I don't know. Because I kept getting up, I get up, watch a couple videos. You know, oh, the man trap's on. Okay, let me lay down while the man trap's on. No? Okay. Yeah, I watch half the episode and like, why am I not able to turn it off? Like, my brain, not the Trek. Because the Trek, it's like listening to a favorite album. I know all the words. It's not distracting me because I have to focus on it. You know, I know what's going to happen pretty much every beat. I know a lot of the dialogue at this point. You know what I mean? Charlie X, let's try this again. Nope. But yeah, actually, for me, it was Act Season 3 that was the, like, episode by episode. And that's actually when I figured out, I'm like, wait a minute, we're going through Season 3. You know what I mean? All our yesterdays. You know, and I'm like, So the next episode should be Turnabout Intruder, right? That's the last episode of the series, actually. It was the last episode of season 3. And at some point, I think I fell asleep during the trial. I think. See, I know him so well, it's the whole, what do I remember seeing versus I know the whole thing, so I remember the whole episode. I want to say the last thing I consciously remember was Scotty and McCoy talking in the corridor during the trial. When they were planning a mutiny. And then, yeah, I woke up to the landing party being greeted on Starbase 11 and being told, we didn't send for you. If you know the menagerie, you know what I'm talking about there too. This is like nerd Trek stuff, I realized, but Spock doing his shenanigans behind the scenes. That's when I was kind of like getting my head in the game going, okay, I'm awake. I slept. Wait, I slept. Oh my God, I slept. I slept a lot. You know, you start doing the math. Look at my phone, look at the clock. It's like, holy cats, I slept a lot. I think Shore Leave is on right now, or was a little while ago. Just to give you a time frame. If you're, you know, that nerd. I don't know anybody like that at all. Bugs Bunny on a roller coaster. That is Harry and David milk chocolate caramel. I talked to Alex. And I felt bad because he felt bad. He's like, well, I thought I was doing good. I'm like, well, sometimes the blends are really good and sometimes not so much. And I'm like, we've got really good coffee in there. Just make them as they are. They're good flavors. You don't have to get creative. Just enjoy them for what they are. It's like, okay. Damn it if I do, you know. Smacked my kid in his creative spirit, but it was getting to the point where like one pot a day of coffee was just like, oh, what is this? And I'm not gonna drink coffee that I don't like to drink. Just not. You know, have I become a prude or something? Yeah, I guess I have. Now I'm 55. I'm dealing with, I'm 3 years into dealing with a huge amount of bullshit handed to me by my parents. I'm probably going to be swimming in it for another year. Been diagnosed with what is technically a terminal lung condition. And I want to enjoy what time I've got left. So I'm going to try and make good choices for everyone. Try and make sure everybody's taken care of. But I'm going to drink coffee that I like out of mugs that make me happy. It's a very simple, you know, New Year's resolution kind of vibe thing. I'm not going to drink garbage coffee. And some of the mixtures, good coffees, but, you know, I explained it to Tiny, because Tiny kind of got it. Tiny started drinking tea suddenly. I was like, what's going on here? You know, you start putting paprika, nutmeg, you know, you start mixing spices that don't belong together, because Tiny's interested in cooking and getting a feel for it. And kind of that, oh yeah. Like paprika, great by itself. Nutmeg, great by itself. You can put other things with them. They're great, you know, with blends, but some things don't work in concert. And that's, I think, what was going on, you know. You put 4 great ingredients together, and if they don't mix, you're going to have a nightmare in a cup. Just stick with what's there. It's good. Do 4 scoops. Don't do 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, that's right. So I got a bunch of packages Saturday, and I opened them, which is to say that I opened them and dumped them out, but didn't actually like look through them. Because it was like, okay, I'll do this when I get up and do my next video, whatnot. It's cool. I'm going to go get some sleep. That did not work according to plan. So, a bunch of this is going to go back up on eBay. I've got a Star Wars. I think it's another one of those really does make me look like I got, I don't know, it's weird. I think it's from a Salvation Army. There are a lot of Salvation Army and other like thrift store places that are like, they have their own stores now on eBay, but they're not necessarily advertising it as Salvation Army. It's either that or a picker that went in and picked this stuff up from a Salvation Army kind of thing. But I think it's the actual Salvation Army that I got it from. I don't know that. Just some of the stuff in the transaction was like, just as a golly gee whiz, doesn't affect anything. Except that I think I got a really good deal on it. So I bought, because I'm obsessed with the droids in general. And this is, I guess, Goldie from like, I think Clone Wars, the animated series. It's in pretty good shape. It's got some little tools that fold down. I don't think any parts are missing. I don't think he's got like a hatch or something that's supposed to go over it. If he does, he's missing some parts. And I'm not sure of that because on the back there's a little like hook thing on a string. So part of me kind of wonders if he had like little doors on the front that hid the tools. Either way, I'm not real worried about it. I paid like $10 for it round trip, and he's pretty cool. I like him. And then this other lot I paid, I think $40 round trip, and there's just a ton of figures. There's one of the newer Han Solo in Carbonite. I'm probably going to sell it though. Looks like it's in great shape, but only keeping what I'm thinking I'm going to use. One of the reasons that I actually bid on it, I couldn't believe I got it, frankly, is a Sebulba figure. Not necessarily a big fan of Phantom Menace, but the look of Sebulba has always intrigued me. I always thought he was a neat looking character, and I wanted to get a figure of him, and I did, in this line. Got a Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight, Return of the Jedi type outfit. Probably going to resell him though, because I already have one. I love the figure, but I have one. It came with 3 Palpatines. There's a bunch of duplication in this, but I knew going into it. So 3 of the Senator Palpatine with, looks like some of the Comtech chips. It's supposed to like have voice stuff. You put the figure on it. Let's see if it actually works. You gotta match it up with the figure though, because it kind of triggers its own sound bite. These are older, so it may not actually work. Oh, I need the reader, don't I? There's like a reader or something to actually trigger it. Which I do have one of those. Probably in a box at George Station. Because I think there's a reader that just like scans it and does the sound bite. Sorry for that false alarm. But as figures go, they look good. I might keep one of them, but definitely don't need 3 Senator Palpatines running around. So we'll be reselling at least 2 of those. And using different bags. Put that over there. Farm Boy Luke Skywalker with his Skyhopper. And I'm guessing that's the cleaning tool that he was using on the droids. I don't know. Saving the best for last. Han Solo Bespin outfit. It's one of the newer ones, probably like Power of the Force. Got a couple of pew-pews with him. Again, I'm good. I'll probably resell it. Got a couple of Mace Windows, which I'm not totally sure what I'm doing there yet. I'll figure that out. It's actually got the purple lightsaber, which is kind of cool. As well as some kind of special effecty thing going on there, which... I don't know. They did some weird gimmicky stuff with some of the 2000s figures. I don't know how I feel about it. Actually, I know how I feel about it. When I was playing with figures, we used our imagination. The main reason I went for this was this. Yeah. It's got normal. Oh, okay, it's floating around in the bag. Okay, there's 2 that are missing arms, and I was about freaked out, but there's 2 free-floating arms in the bag itself. So, we're good. It's a clone pilot. Like, I think it's attributed to the either extended or Revenge of the Sith. But it's a clone pilot figure, and I dig my clones. I'm not gonna lie, figure-wise, I like them a lot. This came with 5 of them. Let's see, you can give somebody a hand. Wrong one. There we go. Okay. It's actually not that big of a deal. It looks like these pop off fairly easy from what I can see through the bag. A lot of them are just that little bit separated. So this may be a common thing with arms, is kind of go, but you can see it's post and hole. And he is restored. With the post, it gives some pretty good mobility. You can do all kinds of cheerleading. But we're going to have to talk about this, you and I. Like I said, I think it's a chronic problem. Maybe with this figure primarily. Because if 2 of them have arms off, that may be... We'll go lenient and say it's a design flaw. Yeah, that wants to pop off real easy. Yeah. I see the signs. So, careful with these guys. Got it. Safety tip. But yeah, anytime I can get like bulk Imperial Stormtroopers or Clone Troopers, stuff like that, and the pilots are a little bit, they're not hard to come by, you can get them, but you're typically going to pay you know, 10, 15, 20 bucks each. And again, I want to say I paid 40 round trip for this. So if I'm keeping these 5 plus the Sebulba and reselling most of the rest of the figures, we're in a good place. We're in a good place, you know. I might even make my money back on the whole thing to where I get this basically for free. One of the other things that I got, this makes me very happy. I haven't actually opened her up, so I don't know yet if everything is good, but it looked like it was fine. I will not cut her in the back of the head. I will not cut her in the back of the head. She is danger prone. So I got in the larger Scooby figures. Don't even know what I'm doing with them yet, but just the fact they made larger Scooby figures and they look good. They're like the Scooby-Doo Where Are You kind of sculpt. But I didn't have a Daphne. I have a Daphne. And I found a couple places that people that had some Daphnes, but they were 40, 60 bucks. There was one mint in box, I think, for 120, which, cool. I'm gonna use it. I'm not doing museum pieces anymore. Yeah, you look good. Very little paint wear. You were display only, probably, maybe even just pulled out of the pack and sold your hips. Almost looks like your hips you moved. Maybe not. No, it looked dirty, right? She's wearing panties. It's okay. She's all into Fred and everything, but she's still got some standards and whatnot. She's not a complete, you know. But yeah, this will give you an indication. I think they're touted as like 8 or 9 inch figures. Miss Blake. We'll use the C-3PO prototype. And then for Doctor Who standpoint, which is again 5.5 inch figure, 6 inch figure. They're giant. But I had everybody else. I had Fred, Velma, Shaggy, Scooby. I couldn't find a Daphne. And somebody listed this for, I think it was like $20 for free shipping. I got it for $20 round trip, which I'm thrilled. There was one that I had been watching because it was kind of that whole, if I get desperate and or get enough cash to where I can do this without feeling guilty about it. I have one that I've been watching that they wanted $60 for it. I don't want to pay $60 for any action figure if I can avoid it. You know what I mean? Yes, I paid $220 for the Rebecca Chambers, but I looked it up again the other day. Resident Evil Rebecca Chambers. She's the medic. She's the secondary character if you're playing as Chris Redfield in the first game. She's one of the main characters in Zero. One of my favorite characters. Doesn't get a lot of love. And Moby Dick did Moby Dick Palisades. They did an action figure. There is a Hot Toys action figure for her, which looks amazing, but it's also rather pricey. I'm not gonna do that this second. This guy had a Rebecca for $220. I bought it. I showed you guys like a month ago, maybe more. I did look it up again the other day, just, you know, that passing curiosity, and also to see if there was any other Rebecca Chambers stuff out there. Because I don't run a shop anymore, so I don't always have my ear to the ground as far as like new merch. There was one listed for $900. There was one listed for $1,400. And there was another one which was like just under $2,000. Mint sealed, package looked good, from, I want to say it was actually in Japan, and it was like 1,950 US dollars conversion. It's like, you were asking $2,000 for that action figure. Because after tax, it's going to be $2,000. I feel so good about the 220 that I spent right now. I do. I feel very good about it. I love my girl. She was so, when I showed her, I told her that I bought a Rebecca, and she was very much, this is a rerun for some people, I apologize for that. She was like, okay, because she knows. And I'm like, I paid $220 for it. Her reaction was, oh, okay. Wow. Okay, great. Is that still like $500-$600 normally? I'm like, it's gone up. She's like, oh God, how much are they now? I'm like, well, there's another one for $900. And she's like, 220 is great. I'm like, yes, it is. 220 is fantastic. We're gonna go with it. I'm very happy with that. See, that's good coffee. I know what it is. I know how you made it. And it's good. Stop. Humor me. If you want to get your own coffee maker in your room, you can Dexter's Laboratory the hell out of this. If it's coffee for everybody, don't do that. Don't do that. Bugs Bunny on a roller coaster. Yeah. So, daylight be damned. I'm going to get some work done in the garage anyway, though. Before I tried to go to sleep, then couldn't, then went into a coma. I got 3 medium totes gone through and created 5 banker boxes, which Tiny stored already. Working my way through the under tables in the garage. Got a lot of medium totes that need to be cleaned out. They're nasty, which will give me more totes to store back into. But I'm almost done with the under tables, which is great because that means that I can put, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prep stuff that I know I will be trying to sell at the garage sales once we really start trying to do garage sales. I'm going to be putting some of that stuff on one of the tables, and I'm going to park that near the garage door so that it is more accessible to take out onto the driveway. But the other 2 rolling tables I'm going to break down. We'll recycle the wood, but they just take up huge amounts of space in the middle of the garage, and it's become a dump zone for every stupid little thing my parents might have been considering working on, didn't know what to do with. Throw it on the table. Throw it on the table. We're not doing that anymore. We're not. Nope. Nope. So, I'm not bored. I got my work cut out for me, but I at least know what I'm doing. And I feel very rested. What the hell was that? I never sleep 12 hours. Well, that might have been 13 or 14 hours. I don't do that. So from a health check standpoint, maybe there is something wrong with me. Maybe it's just my brain catching up. I don't know. Weird. But yeah, I feel good. I'm going to make a fresh pot of coffee. It's all going to be the same type. Got some classic Trek going on in the living room for a change. While Ro figures out how to coo. Probably keep it on that for a bit anyway. I mean, it's classic Star Trek, that's fine too. That is an acceptable white noise radio station for me. You know, and that would be honestly something that I would put down as instructions. You know, the whole, if I need to be homed or something eventually. Because they asked this with the VA one, asked, you know, is there anything that your dad likes watching on TV or listening to music-wise that he might find soothing? You know, I put down old westerns, classical music. I mean, there are a couple things that are like a happy place for him. From an older sitcom standpoint, loves MASH, Hogan's Heroes, Gilligan's Island, which is very strangely juvenile for him. I mean, it's goofy fun. I'm not knocking it, but it's kind of like, oh, that's. But yeah, he was really, really. He's always been a big fan of Gilligan's Island. That was actually one of his biggest pet peeves about Vietnam. My hand to God, was that he got drafted and missed season 3. Because I guess it ran 3 seasons. I think so. And he watched the first 2 seasons on TV, loved it, and then got drafted and missed the 3rd season. Because it was, you know, broadcast TV in the U.S. and he was in Vietnam. So, I mean, you know, 10, 15 years ago when he told me that, I went out and got him the, like, complete series DVD set. Which, at the time, he was like, oh? I'm like, well, you said you never got to see season 3. And he's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, when you just want to turn your brain off and watch some goofy TV, plug in these discs, Dad. Stop working so hard. Take that break. Yeah, I might do that. I don't know if he did. It's probably around here somewhere, actually. But yeah, that is one of the things that I would put down in the instructions of the whole, if I'm not really able to communicate, if you're trying to keep me calm, subdued, and you want some kind of white noise that'll put me in a good place. Queen, Alan Parsons, Bare Naked Ladies, Evanescence. There's some music that are good places for me to be. Shinedown. If you want to give me visual stimulation, put in classic Doctor Who, classic Star Trek. You got hours of fun right there for me. And I may, honestly, if my brain's broke, I may not know every line anymore. But it's going to feel like home for me. So maybe that's more important, you know. I really don't want to go through what I'm watching my dad go through. I really don't. Brilliant man. And his brain is broken and has been breaking. And I got the worst seats in the house for it. Which is to say, center orchestra. This is something I'd much rather see from the balcony nosebleeds, you know. But I'm not allowed to. So, on that note, I'm going to sign off. Hug your parents. Hug your kids. Make it a great day. Gilligan's Island. Or Scooby. Have fun.